I'm going to be talking about a rare champion. Yeah, a rare champion. Not any rare, but this one's kind of really good, which doesn't make any sense. How can a rare be really, really good? Especially for me talking about this. I'm someone that's been playing this game for the longest out of anybody that I know. So we have a lot to talk about. I have a lot to think over myself, so let's just dive straight into it. What up, team? It's MurderInc. We are on the test server. We are talking about Shadow Bow Tirlac. Now, this guy is Sylvan Watcher, defense-based, rare champion with a unique kit. Unique to say the least. First of all, look at how cool he looks for a rare. We got the ghillie suit. We got the bow and arrow. This guy's like Robin Hood. I don't know about the bear claw. That's a little bit much. That can definitely get in the way and cause some issues, but let's talk about this guy's kit, his skills, why he takes so many books for no reason, but they're rare books, which are kind of hard to get anyways. All of his abilities, well, his first two abilities scale off of defense, which is good. He's a defense-based champion. Attacks one enemy, 40% chance of decrease attack. The weak version, who cares? We don't care about this. Shadow Bow, Shadow whatever. But the A2 attacks all enemies, places a 15% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. 5-turn cooldown, booked all the way down to 3-turn cooldown, increase the damage a little bit, whatever. This is okay, but it's a really good complementary skill, and you'll see why. A3, 6-turn cooldown, booked down to a 4-turn cooldown, places a veil buff on all allies except this champion for 1 turn. Also places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns, equal to 20% of this champion's max HP. This champion. So Plarium, let me get this straight. You make a heal based on other champions' health for a fusion, and then you release a rare that scales properly with the shield off of his own HP. I'll never understand you. Ever. Anyways, this is really cool. You might say, Murder, what's the big deal? It's just a shield. Is it? Is it? It is just a shield, but the veil is something to keep in mind. Perfect Veil Camo Cover. Decreases the damage received from skills by all allies under Veil or Perfect Veil buffs by 5%. So we're getting a 5% DR. We're getting a shield. Shield. Emphasis on the shield. We're getting an AoE ability on a 3-turn cooldown, an increased speed buff. There's just so many options for this rare, and you rarely, no pun intended, see that from a champion of this quality. I mean, rares are good. I mean, we can just look at this. Yes, there's Cold Heart, she's kind of OP. Yes, there's Painkeeper, but they're void. They're void champions. There are other good rares in this game, but this champion's kit just has so much potential. So we're going to go ahead and fully book it. 6 books, kind of a lot of books, but it's whatever. Now we have 5 more books, so 11 books total. Not the worst, kind of an investment, but this guy, like I said, he can still be really good. So what do we want to do here? We don't care about damage, and this is why. His base defense is fine. Scratch that. Not even his base defense. His overall stats are fine. But one thing to keep in mind about rares, they, again, no pun intended, rarely have strong base stats. They just don't. So when you're trying to scale them for damage, it doesn't really work out in your favor. So what can we do with this guy? This guy now becomes a shield champion, stacking HP in a stun set, because he has an AoE ability that can be massive for early to mid game player progression. Like massive. 5% damage reduction. You make him the slowest champion on the team. Like, what more could you want from a champion like this? So what we're going to do is we're going to try to make this work here. Okay, so HP, that's looking good so far. You don't want speed. You want to avoid speed. Murder, why do we want to avoid speed? Because the Veil only lasts for 1 turn. If you have another champion that applies Veil or Perfect Veil, good. The more uptime you can keep on this, the more you can capitalize on his passive that reduces damage. Very good. But let's just say you don't have any of that. So you want as much HP as possible and as little speed as possible. So crit damage, defense, we don't care. We don't. Okay, HP, very good. Just go ahead and upgrade this. We don't care about the accuracy check for the decreased accuracy. Another great thing about this champion, we don't need accuracy for stun sets either, which is really good. Now we want an HP ring, triple HP, bam. The gear you're going to see here, just a disclaimer here, don't expect to come anywhere close to these stats. I've been playing since the dinosaurs were roaming the earth, so just don't compare my gear to your gear. Gear it with the principle that I'm showing you here. So we need, let's see, we don't even want crit rate. We don't care about it. We want HP percent on all of our pieces here. If we can get it in stun set, fine. The heck kind of piece is this? A quad crit damage roll? Okay, once again, disclaimer, don't get mad. I get the gear's good. Speed actually is no good, so we don't want that. We're just gonna stack health here. Ooh, should I use Ascended Gear to make this the ultimate free-to-play rare? We're doing it. We gotta do it. Right? Yeah, we just have to. We can only use 2 pieces though. So, using 2 pieces only, with with no speed, because we don't want speed. Defense would be nice. HP and defense, we got it from the boots here, so the boots are fine. Okay, so this is good so far. Did we have a stun set? We didn't have a stun set chest, so that was a mistake for sure. And I guess, so we only had gloves. Okay, so unfortunately we have to use the triple crit damage gloves. I mean, we can take a little bit of speed. Try not to run around with like base speed on this guy. I think I might have been overexcited, to say the least, as far as how little speed you should have on this guy. You don't have to avoid the speed substat like the plague, but you don't have to use speed boots, which is huge for early game players, because usually everyone says, including me, speed is king early game, speed, 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 but for this champion it actually works out where you don't need it as much. So, I'm gonna have to use a 5-star chest piece, because it's all I have here, because we're really focused on HP percent, and HP stun gear is kind of a weird set. Like, who has that? I don't even have that, and I've been farming gear, like I said, since the dinosaurs were walking the earth. So, kind of crazy. Although I could have just used the chest there, and I didn't. So, I'm kind of trolling. Let's get back to reality here. We got defense, we got speed. I'm looking for defense percent, crit rate if we can get it, whatever. I'm not looking for speed. Okay, so defense, all this good stuff. Okay, now we just want straight up HP in a stun set. What do we got here? Single roll, triple speed roll, thank you no. Triple speed roll, thank you no. Single HP, and we don't need accuracy. What's going to be the best? That's a double speed roll. We'll just take this one as flat HP as well. Helmet, what do we got? Double speed. That's all I have, double speed. Triple crit rate. This one's going to be better because it has flat. Let's just look at the numbers. Okay, so 1600, that's going to come on top. And then for the helmet, 5200 HP is going to be the best we can do. So this is going to be the build. 82,000 health, 169. Wait, what is that? 169 speed. Okay, so masteries. You probably don't mastery this champion. You really don't. If you want to, because he ends up being like crazy for your progression, this is what I would do. I mean, you have a decision to make. You can make this guy a 50-50 champion where he's there for CC and survivability but also provides boss damage. Or you can say, you know what? This guy's got so much in his kit, increased speed, he has shield, he has a damage reduction, that I can just use that and use my 4 other champions and really focus on damage for them. You can do that as well. So if you want to go the damage route and give him a half and half build, go straight down to War Master. He's got 2 abilities that actually hit the target, so he's going to do a decent amount of boss damage. Not so much in the waves, because War Master doesn't do a ton to wave champions, but bosses, we all know War Master is going to stand out for sure. Now, if you want to go the full hybrid, which I'm going to show you now, you have a couple options. You can go for Elixir of Life, which is a straight up health gain, giving you larger shields, or you can try and increase your stun chance. It's only 5%, but 5% can add up. It really can. So what I would personally do is I would do this. I would do a little bit of this. Where's the skill that heals? Okay, right here. Now you have options. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go down here. Increases the value of shields. Increases the value of turn meter on buff. I'm going to say this is good because this is going to get the stun cycled back. Having fast base speed isn't going to be ideal, but getting him to cycle quicker is going to be a good idea. So we're going to use this. We'll go for, we have a stun set, so we don't get a lot from Lore of Steel, so let's forget about that for now. Cycle of Magic, of course, good for RNG if we can handle it. Healing Savior, of course, we take that. This one, not as big of a deal, so we'll skip it for now, because Delay Death, important, and Harvest Despair. Since we're going to be working with a stun set, the fact that we have a 60% chance of placing a leech debuff for 1 turn, when we place a stun, gives good group healing for sure on waves. And why do we bring a stun set? Certainly not for stunning bosses, although that would be kind of a cool mechanic if there was like a vulnerable stage on bosses where you could stun them. The next part, we definitely want to take lasting gifts. I think that's going to be very beneficial. And then, like I said, this is going to be preference. I would personally take Elixir of Life, since he's a rare. He's definitely going to be missing base stats, and I would take both counterattack options here. As far as this goes, if you're paired with a healer, you can absolutely take Rejuvenation. If you're not paired with a healer and you want to focus on self-healing, every time you kill the first champion in any content, he gets a 10% heal. If you are one-shotting or killing it before anyone takes damage, you might elect not to take Exalt in Death. And there's not really many other good choices here. You're not going to need a Lay on Hands, so I'm going to go with Exalt in Death, even though it can be a waste. Like I said, if you have a healer, you definitely take Rejuvenation, but I'm going with Exalt in Death for now. So if you were just skimming through the video and you saw me click Exalt in Death, you just got baited. That's what you get for not listening. Anyways, back to his kit. Let's look at his total stats now. We got 86,000 health, pumping, 2,800 defense, we don't care. Speed is low, crit damage, blah, you don't care about any of that. So once again, we have increased speed, we have Veil, shield, damage reduction, all of this good stuff. And I mean, I guess I'll just show him in some type of content. Where do we want to see him? He's a green champion, so we can just go to, I mean, he's strong affinity here. Yeah, you know what, why not? We'll take him here. We will use, who should we use that's just gonna be fun? Yeah, this guy's built, so we'll just throw him into the mix here. Although I shouldn't be using legendaries because we're not going to be able to see the protection effect as well as we should be. So let's just throw in as many rares as we can. Let's head down to Rare Land. Okay, Rare Land, we are here. Who are we going to use? I guess we can use this one. I don't think any of these champions are built, except for this one, the good one. That's all that matters. You know, we don't have to go full rares. We can use some epics too, because why not? Do I have the Mushroom Man built? I'm going to say no, since their power's equal. Yeah, they're just base stats. So he's not built. What do we got here? Who do we want to see? Who haven't I used in a video in like forever? The bears. Oh, but they're red. Oh, red's fine actually. Are they built? The bears are not built. They're not fast enough. Unlucky. I would have loved to use the bears there. Don't want to be getting rid of any buffs here. I guess I could use Genbo, but Genbo's kind of a common champion that people use. I don't want to... Actually, I should get rid of a healer for sure. There's another healer. Okay, so I'm quickly running out of options. Trying to find someone new and cool to use. What about this guy, Baroth? I showcased him once when it came out and never again. Alright, so someone we can use is going to be Stagnite, but now we need an Aura champion. Hopefully Haikatune has some gear on her. She does not. Typical. What What am I expecting on my account? Way too much apparently. So with all this being said, I'm really running out of options here. Hopefully he's a healer so we can't use him. I'm just forgetting things very quickly here. What about legendaries that aren't crazy to use, right? Every time I use a crazy champion like Murder, you're out of touch. Why are you using these crazy Seal of Drakes? She's okay. Acceptable. She's got no gear on. Rhonda, don't think I ever built. She's not built. Don't use her. I use Ninja. Okay. And that is going to wrap things up if this guy's geared. He has no speed, but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the no speed. Let's watch the team in action. Now, is it going to fail miserably? It's possible. But just, oh, who has a shield set? Just when you think things are going well, someone is using a shield set. Okay, so we have an added shield now, fixed shield on the entire team here. Ninja doing negative damage to be expected. We are in 1x speed. There's the increased speed buff. We like it, we like it. So we didn't have a single stun land the first time. No stun landed there. There's a nice counterattack. We didn't get a second counterattack there. We'll just put this on 2x speed so it doesn't take forever to go through. But this is going to be the basic breakdown of taking reduced damage against stage 25. We don't have crazy gear on anybody. In fact, the gear is quite underwhelming on everybody, if we're being honest here. Ninja was probably a mistake, not going to lie. Why was Ninja a mistake? Because he's freezing the targets. There's the first stun that went out. So we can't really see the benefit of the stun set on this guy, but we can definitely see the damage reduction benefit for sure. So the increased speed's keeping the team going. It's not the strong increased speed, I get that, but if you are in the early to mid game, you kind of just take what you can get. There's the shield. Is it rather small? Yes. Do you need an insane shield? No. Just look at the damage that's coming up from these guys. Double stun, massive, RNG again, so getting excited over something like that isn't the craziest thing, but we can also see his Masteries going to work here. He's applying shields, he's applying the speed buff, he's gaining turn meter based on that, and he's cycling through appropriately. This team's actually doing surprisingly well, albeit taking a decent amount of time to kind of get things rolling for sure. So we got this going on. Can we survive this wave? This is usually a hard wave to survive for a lot of players that first enter the mix here. Double stun, great way to start. Razin Scarhide, A3, beautiful. Razin in this guy, Razin's a free-to-play fusion. Free-to-play as in it's always available to you. Not free-to-play as in it's easy to get without spending, although you can definitely do it and it's possible. So we took a little bit of damage there. Nobody's quite protected yet here, but the point I was trying to make is the synergy between Razin and this guy is going to be good because of that stun set. Keeping them at bay, giving them more chances to get stunned. If they do get stunned and have their turn meter reduced, it adds even more value to this guy's stun set on him. So, like I said, even though his kit may read underwhelming, it's a breath of fresh air, being honest with you guys, to see Plarium develop a champion like this. It may not look good, it may not feel like it's a big deal, but it is a big deal because their champion design hasn't been the greatest in the past year and a half. If you look at a lot of the earlier champions, their champion design may appear basic, like Razin Scarhide. Even Stagnite is an old champion. No matter how you look at it, he's an old champion. He has a good kit. A lot of the earlier kits I think were way more intuitive, and now they're constantly reworking champions, so I think it's taking a lot of focus off of new champion kits. Are there no good new champions in their kits? No, that's not the point I'm trying to make, but the majority of the concepts are very underwhelming. Perfect example, the new fusion. I guess it's an okay idea, but it's just rather underwhelming for sure here. And the fact that I could just plug and play this team with 3 mediocre gear champions, being Razin, Stag Knight, and War Maiden. Ninja has good gear. I do use him in the Sand Devil, so I know his gear is good. And of course, you guys just watched me gear this rare here. He's an above average gear, but granted, this is stage 25 dragon, right? So to expect me to use 4-star gear, 5-star gear, common level gear that this guy's really going to shine with for something like stage 25 is just a ridiculous ask of me. It's better that I showcased him in stage 25 to show you that he makes a difference all the way up here. So if for some reason you have the worst luck in the world and you invest in this guy, you can still use him to keep a team rolling like the team you see in front of you right here, with accessible champions for sure. You can get Razin, War Maiden, and if you played long enough, you have Ninja already. That's 4 of the 5. Stag Knight, of course, you would have to pull. So I'm impressed. I didn't think I'd be impressed by a rare in a long time, but this guy is actually a breath of fresh air. Great kit, great champion. It looks cool. Gotta mention the aesthetics. Kind of went over that already a little bit, but just look at him one more time. He's looking pretty good. Anyways, faction wars, another talking point before I end this video. If you want to support the channel, hit that subscribe button. Helps me out a ton. Give me your thoughts on this guy. Am I overhyping this? I don't think I am, but I could be wrong. Only you guys know if you were watching this as to what you think about Shadowbow tier lack. So that's going to conclude this content here today. Give me your thoughts and feedback. If you enjoy this, you already know what to do. I will see you in the next upload and enjoy the rest of your day.